Alright, so we are done with the semester. Anyways, I didn't finish the countdown. I mean, the week of Thanksgiving, I only had one day of class. Since communications is on a Wednesday, we didn't have class that day, and then Thursday, which is the other day of English, we didn't have class that day. I mean, Thursday the 28th was Thanksgiving, so obviously, we weren't gonna have class. And then the week after, what was it? The week after, so technically last week was like a full week of class. Only thing is, I was working on a revision exercise for the research paper, and then over the weekend I was revising the research paper. It wasn't even that much this time around that I had to fix on that particular essay. It was just I was like, oh, I'm gonna record end of the semester countdown, and then I didn't end up doing it. And then by the time we already got to this week, which is already the end of the semester, I did not end up doing, I think I half-assed the countdown, or just, I think I only did one countdown related video, which is all I have to say. And then there were times where I was kind of taking naps, because there were times where I felt like I fucking needed a nap, and yeah, that's where we're at right now, is end of the semester. My my English professor, I think she still needs to grade 2 more things, and then once I'm done, once those 2 things are graded, I mean, I already submitted them, but once those 2 things are graded, it's pretty much just send my grades to my counselor and go from there. And then, I mean, just overall, the semester, I honestly wasn't even sure if I was going to pass. I don't know if you guys remember in the pre-college rants and random crap when I did say something about, my family saying, oh, what if you slack off like you did in high school? And then there was quite a bit of, high school stuff brought up, even mobility from when I was in high school. The hell is that? Oh, I think somebody's outside with a little, it's either a wooden toy or a car with a loose part. Who knows what it is, but there's something outside. And I was like, wait, is my mom coming back? I wasn't too sure. Anyways, no, it wasn't her. I thought that maybe, because I thought it sounded like the key, it almost sounded like the door, the front door getting unlocked, and so I was like, oh crap. Okay, luckily that's not the case. Anyways, yeah, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to actually win my parents over on the traveling alone to school. Originally, we started out with all 3 days a week, but since I'm getting dental work done, we ended up agreeing to once or twice a week. And this week I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do Tuesday and Wednesday Uber, because I mean, when am I gonna really be able to do it again? When am I gonna be able to go somewhere on my own? Probably not till fucking next semester, and I wanted to get as much of that in as possible. And yeah, alright, now the thing that I'm going to reveal, that I kept saying I was going to reveal but did not reveal, for anyone who doesn't know, okay, so the college that I go to, now some of you guys already know, that there's a few different campuses. There's one in the area, well, is it really in like the area of SoCal, like in the area, like kind of South County-ish? I guess. And then there's another one, and then in like another area. For anyone who like lives specifically kind of like in like the San Diego-ish area, Chula Vista, whatever, one of them is, I guess you can say like is Multi Lakes. Yeah, it's kind of east where Multi Lakes is. The other one, okay, so there's the main campus, the Chula Vista campus, and then there's National City, then there's San Isidro, and then there's, I think it's the Crown Cove Aquatic Center. That's what I heard, but they have like a different campus for like water sports, from what I heard. I don't know if that's a new thing. I have to actually look that up, but I did get emails saying something about like water sports. So from those emails, they implied pretty much that it was like a separate campus for like water sports. Anyways, communications was on another campus. It was not on the main campus. Luckily, my counselor authorized mobility, and he didn't really care if it was on both campuses, just as long as I got the mobility training. And honestly, before the semester started, because he asked me, he goes, hey, do you know where your classes are going to be? And then I said one of them's on the, well, I guess you can say two, because English 115 and English 45 are two classes in one. But yeah, I told him, oh, you know, two of them are on the main campus and the other one's on another campus. And then he goes, which one is it? Mind you, I'm in the car with my mom on the way back from a neurology appointment. So my counselor called me while I was in the neurology appointment. I couldn't answer him till I got out, and I was like, you know what, I better, you know, call him back. And I just mumble San Isidro into the phone, and he goes, which one? And I'm like, the San Isidro one, and I just said it louder, and I tried to say it like really fast. And he's like, oh, they have a campus in that area? He's like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, yeah, apparently they do. And he didn't say anything really. He's just like, okay, we'll get stuff authorized. I don't know how I did it. And if anyone were to ask me like, oh, you know, which campus do you like better, the main campus or San Isidro? The main campus has its perks, honestly, but it's a lot bigger than the San Isidro campus. The San Isidro campus is like a small building with 2 floors. There's an elevator and there's the stairs. There were times where I would go for the stairs because that was like the easiest. It was like right next to the front door. The elevator, you had to go past the couch and a few other things in order to get to the elevator. And I was like, okay, if I am running late or if I feel like I just want to go to the stairs, I'm going to go to the stairs because it's like near the door. And then I would just take the elevator on the way down. So I managed a whole 12, 14 weeks-ish of keeping it from my family that I was really going to 2 campuses. Because there were times like after I got the second thing of dental work done, where I ended up missing a week because I was kind of zonked out on I think it was pain meds, and then another medication they gave me. It was like antibiotics and then seizure meds on top of that. And I don't know if my body just said fuck it. And I mean, okay, even though I did stay home that whole week, I somehow managed to keep up with all the assignments. There were some things where, yeah, I did. Well, I think there was like 1 or 2 things where I needed an extension. But other than that, like, I lived, I guess. But anyways, I remember my mom that week, she's like, oh, do you want me to take you to class? And I'm like, no. I'm like, you know what? Because I was like, I want to recover. I don't want to be in class all zonked out, half asleep, whatever. And I honestly don't want to show up looking like fucking shit. But more importantly, I didn't want to be all zonked out there and not catching what the teacher was saying. And I was like, fuck that. Plus, we already had the slide deck, so I could, work on things and try to keep up as much as possible. So anyways, every time the Uber would come and get me, like on that day of communications, I would always tell my mom, like, hey, you need to make sure that the Uber, like, you need to understand that the Uber driver needs to see me. They need to see me with the cane. And I told her that. And she seemed to get it. And I mean, there are some Uber drivers that'll be like, oh, is she going with you? And I'll be like, no. She's just there to make sure that I safely get on the Uber and like she sees who the person is. I don't know how I managed to keep up the whole I'm going on 2 campuses, but they don't know and they think I'm on 1 campus only. I'm glad that's over. Cause it's like, okay, maybe I lied, or I guess you can say I lied by omission, but it felt somewhat off, even though I knew I was doing it, and even though I knew, like, okay, she was not gonna go for it. My dad was not gonna go for it if he also found out, oh, 2 campuses, and even if I got the mobility training authorized. And I mean, like I said, the only times I would let my mom take me was like Tuesdays and Thursdays, when I had class on the main campus. And luckily, she didn't think there was anything sus about it. I'm surprised, but yeah. Tech issues. I may or may not have said this in another video, but in the beginning of the semester, yeah, there were times where I almost had it up to... I almost fucking had it up to here with some of the tech issues. It was just, oh, I needed permission to edit a Google Doc or make a copy of it. And I think all I had to do was just like press one button and the teacher gave me access. But it was just little things like that, or the time when I tried to view a Word document and my laptop kept saying, the document is protected. Turns out it was a setting on the computer, I can't remember which one. But it's a setting that you have to change in Word for that shit not to pop up again. And it's one of those settings where I think you can't, they say document is protected and it's like a view only type thing. You can't write in the document. And I was like, fuck that. And I was thinking, oh my god, no, what if the document's like what if there's a setting on there that somebody might have messed up, and nope, it was a setting on my end. Communications, sheesh. I remember when I wanted to submit my introduction, was it intro? The speech outline for the introductory speech. Turns out the assignment wasn't published or wasn't up, and I remember emailing the professor and I'm like, hey, I can't submit this, and he's like, oh yeah, I made a mistake. And luckily though, as far as like tech related stuff, I managed to do. APA is not my strength. APA was the one that I did in communications. English was MLA. MLA, I'd say I'm a lot better at that. The page numbers, inserting page numbers is still kind of a struggle because my dumb ass forgets to justify the page numbers. So that's fun. Honestly, I did have a pretty chill group of classmates in both classes, really. Surprised by that. There are some things I am going to mention though, but in a separate thing. I don't want to make this too long. How long even is this? I can't see how long this is. Oh, you don't like me? That's fine. That's fine, phone. They don't like me. I was trying to see how long the recording was, and I'm like, I'm not recording in voice memos. Yeah, voice memos, it's a lot easier to see how long the recording is. I'm just doing it in Veloco because I want to be able to add background music in iMovie. And I want to be able to sound clear enough and my voice is not drowning out the background music or the background music is not drowning my voice out. So yeah, I figured it was easier to just do it here in Veloco, which is just supposed to be a singing app. But hey, there's a voice effect in the starter pack. It's called Clean. And that one, you can like talk with that voice effect. And it doesn't sound like you're singing or like you have like auto-tune or stuff like that. So I was like, why not take advantage? Anyways, I'll try to be a bit better about the countdowns next semester. I really wanted to do a countdown this semester because to me, I feel like the countdown before winter break is like the important one, because then you got like the holiday season, and it's, to me, that's like a more significant one. That's like before Christmas, New Year's, whatever, you know. And I was like, I wanted to do that one, and I'm like, I kind of screwed up the countdown, but yeah, I tried. I tried. Anyways, I'm gonna end this for now, and kerfuffle.